14 wealthy American women, flying halfway across the world to a country their families deemed an irresponsible distraction, dissolved into tears within 5 minutes of arrival, then flat out refused to leave a week later. I'm Lin Tan, and for the past 2 decades, I've been a bridge between the US and Singapore, fostering cultural exchange. Yet, nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for the journey I undertook last March. It began in New York, at JFK, where I first met these 14 formidable women, all aged between 62 and 76, luminaries of Manhattan's elite society. There was Elena, a prominent business magnate's wife, Marina, the spouse of a prestigious university president, and many more, their names synonymous with influence. What drove them to embark on such a seemingly frivolous quest, especially with global tensions simmering and families vehemently against it, was Elena's lifelong yearning. 50 years ago, a photo essay on the enchanting Lion City, a poetic name for Singapore, with its ethereal blooms, particularly its rare tropical floral displays, had captured her imagination, a dream she'd tucked away, visiting its seasonal beauty becoming her quiet life's ambition. Now, in their 70s, she felt this was her last chance, gathering her closest friends for the pilgrimage. The plan, once revealed, detonated a firestorm. The year was 2025, and the world was a knot of anxieties. Their families, viewing travel to what they considered a distant, politically nuanced region as an act of sheer recklessness, escalated their opposition to a furious crescendo. They were branded foolish, even traitors by some, for daring to step outside the prescribed narrative. Elena's own son, in a desperate bid to dissuade her, warned she might be detained as a spy upon her return. The American media, ever hungry for sensationalism, ran daily reports, fanning the flames of public disapproval, while some friends, blinded by fear and nationalist rhetoric, hurled venomous accusations. Each woman found herself utterly isolated, embarking on this journey without a single loved one to bid them farewell, their spouses steadfast in their disapproval, their children shaking their heads in bewildered disbelief. On the plane, the air crackled with their unspoken anxieties. Nervous whispers filled the cabin. Are we truly safe? Will we face resentment? Even I, a seasoned guide, harbored a gnawing unease, unable to predict the reception a group of American seniors, traveling against such a backdrop, might receive upon landing in Singapore. But from the very instant our flight touched down at Changi Airport, every one of our carefully constructed apprehensions shattered. The initial Mandarin announcement, welcoming us to the Lion City, was immediately followed by an impeccable English translation. Elena gasped, "They're welcoming us in English." As we moved towards immigration, the first crack in their hardened resolve appeared. A friendly airport ambassador, spotting our group, offered a warm welcome in clear English, his smile radiating genuine hospitality. The masks of guardedness dropped from their faces, replaced by expressions of stunned wonder and, unmistakably, profound relief. At the immigration counters, another unexpected grace unfolded. Officers, noticing the advanced age of the women, provided special assistance. A chair was promptly brought for Marina, who struggled with prolonged standing, and their heavy luggage was helped. Such personalized, heartfelt gestures were a stark contrast to the often impersonal, hurried experiences they knew at home. At the baggage claim, the third wave of emotion hit. A young Singaporean staff member approached, speaking fluent English, her voice brimming with sincerity. "From the US? Thank you for coming to Singapore for our beautiful blooms this year. They're exceptional." Elena, tears already welling, choked out, You truly welcome Americans?" The staffer's reply, delivered with quiet conviction, became a refrain we would hear repeatedly. Of course, Singapore's greatest beauty lies in its people. A heart that loves culture knows no borders. At that, every woman wept, their tears a catharsis for the anticipated coldness that never materialized, replaced instead by a torrent of genuine Singaporean warmth. Elena gripped my hand, her voice thick with emotion. "Coming here was the best decision. This moment alone makes the entire journey worthwhile." Our luxurious bus whisked us from the airport into the shimmering heart of Singapore. The women pressed their faces to the windows, captivated by the unfolding panorama. Along the meticulously manicured roads, rows of vibrant flowering trees, just as they'd envisioned in Elena's 50-year-old dream, greeted us. "They truly exist. Even more stunning than the pictures," the exclamations tumbled forth. Our thoughtful driver, noticing their awe, gracefully slowed the bus whenever we passed particularly spectacular floral displays. Marina, deeply moved, murmured, "The people in this country are just so incredibly kind." By the time we reached our hotel that evening, the sun was dipping below the skyline. At check-in, the front desk had prepared personalized welcome cards, written in elegant English, wishing them a delightful stay amidst Singapore's blooming spring. Our rooms were thoughtfully assigned to offer views of the city's green spaces, where the magnificent blossoms could be seen, a living tapestry outside their windows. The women gathered, silent, before the glass, gazing out at the dream made real. Elena, tears tracing paths down her cheeks, whispered a quiet prayer of thanks. "Dear God, thank you for letting me witness this in my lifetime." That night, over a delectable Singaporean feast, their excited chatter filled the restaurant. "Better than we ever imagined. The most beautiful sight I've ever seen." They made a pact. Tomorrow, they would walk among the blooms themselves. The next morning, we made our way to Gardens by the Bay. Navigating Singapore's efficient MRT and then a local bus was a breeze, thanks to the patient guidance of transport staff and ever-helpful locals. Stepping into the Cloud Forest or Flower Dome, where a special seasonal display featured a breathtaking array of blooms, their collective gasp was audible. Then, just as at the airport, it happened. All 14 women, grown seniors, who had lived lives of privilege and often emotional restraint, openly wept. They were utterly undone by the sheer, unadulterated beauty, the explosion of color and life. Even passers-by, Singaporeans going about their day, paused, visibly moved by the raw emotion these foreign visitors displayed. Elena stood beneath a cascade of orchids, her voice trembling. "How beautiful, how utterly alive! This is the true spirit of Singapore," Marina added. "I always thought the landscapes in New England were the world's most beautiful, but this vibrant life is something else entirely." As they posed for photos, a kind Singaporean elderly couple approached. "From America, aren't you? So wonderful you came all this way for the flowers." Elena, her English a little rusty, replied, "Beautiful, very beautiful." The couple smiled, offering them a small box of exquisite kue lapis. A little something from Singapore, a welcome gift. This simple, heartfelt exchange, a testament to pure human connection unfettered by political rhetoric, brought fresh tears. It was a poignant reminder that genuine warmth transcends all manufactured divisions. In the afternoon, we immersed ourselves in a traditional Chinese tea ceremony at a serene tea house in Chinatown. Initially, the array of delicate cups and the intricate rituals left them somewhat bewildered, but under the patient tutelage of the tea master, they slowly began to unravel the quiet elegance of Singapore's tea culture. They were particularly moved when the master explained the concept of Yuan Fen, describing it as a destined, precious connection between people, fated encounters woven into the tapestry of life. Elena, her eyes sparkling, declared, "That is precisely what this trip to Singapore has been for us." As they learned the precise art of brewing and serving, they encountered a depth of spiritual philosophy embedded within Eastern culture. Marina, who had taught philosophy at a university back home, recognized that this was far more than mere etiquette. It was a way of living, a philosophy for life. In the hushed tranquility of the tea room, their minds settled, finding a profound calm they hadn't experienced in years. Sipping the fragrant high mountain oolong, they collectively felt a cleansing of their spirits, a momentary escape from the relentless clamor of their everyday American lives. "It's been so long since I felt this peaceful," one remarked. "Like my soul is being washed clean." Then, on the third evening, the unexpected struck. Elena, 67, and with a known heart condition, suddenly clutched her chest and collapsed during dinner. Panic flared through the group. The situation looked dire. I too felt my blood run cold. A medical emergency abroad is every guide's worst nightmare. I immediately dialed 995. Explaining the situation in English, I was reassured by the comm operator that expertly trained paramedics were en route. Their efficiency stunned me. Within 5 minutes, an ambulance, sirens wailing, arrived. The professionalism and swiftness of the Singaporean paramedics were extraordinary, a level of care these women admitted they rarely saw even in their privileged circles back home. They quickly assessed Elena, administered immediate care, and showed a meticulous, gentle concern for her age that deeply comforted the distraught group. Inside the ambulance, equipped with state-of-the-art medical technology, Elena's vitals were continuously monitored. En route to Singapore General Hospital, A paramedic explained Elena's condition and their actions in clear, reassuring English, allowing us to follow with a sense of calm. At SGH, an equally impressive system awaited us. The emergency department flowed with seamless efficiency, volunteers and medical staff instantly appearing to assist. The women, still shaken, expressed profound admiration for such a streamlined operation. Diagnostics were astonishingly rapid. An ECG, blood tests, and an echocardiogram were completed within a short span, a stark contrast to the days-long waiting lists they would typically face for cardiac evaluations in New York. Thankfully, the diagnosis was mild, temporary arrhythmia brought on by travel fatigue. While the doctor, considering her age, suggested an overnight stay for observation, Elena, not wanting to squander a single precious moment of her Singapore trip, insisted on discharge. The dispensary's response was equally meticulous. The pharmacist cross-referenced Elena's existing US medications for any potential interactions, printed out clear English instructions, and even provided extra doses to ensure continuity of care. Upon her return to the US, an astonishing level of detail. The cost of treatment, too, was a revelation. Covering the emergency visit, all tests, and medication, it amounted to a fraction of what they would pay privately in the US, and was transparent, fair, and utterly devoid of inflated charges for foreigners. The entire hospital staff, from nurses to lab technicians to administrative personnel, radiated a genuine, heartfelt compassion that transcended the language barrier, using translation apps or gestures to ensure clear communication. As Elena left the hospital, she confided, "If only America had a healthcare system as kind and efficient as Singapore's." This experience cemented their trust and gratitude, deepening their newfound respect for the Lion City. From the fourth day onwards, their Singapore journey deepened. A fully recovered Elena rejoined the group, brimming with renewed vigor. We embarked on a day trip that beautifully showcased Singapore's diverse tapestry. Perhaps a scenic journey via an extended MRT line to the breathtaking southern ridges, where lush greenery met panoramic urban vistas, or to the exquisite Flower Dome again for a different seasonal display. The comfort, cleanliness, and punctuality of Singapore's public transport system deeply impressed them. We strolled amidst vibrant, cascading blooms along the Henderson Waves, the stunning views of the city melding with the natural beauty. A visit to a historic temple, perhaps Thian Hock Keng, revealed an exquisite harmony of natural and cultural aesthetics. Here, they remarked, Singapore's unique sense of beauty truly manifested itself, a seamless blend of traditional faith and the natural world. On a charming heritage street, perhaps in Chinatown, they indulged in a dress-up experience, donning traditional Peranakan kebaya dresses. At over 70, these women, radiant in the vibrant silks, posed for photos against the backdrop of historic shophouses, the delicate blossoms framing their joy. Heartwarming interactions with the local women who helped them dress further reinforced the idea that human connection effortlessly bridges cultural divides. It was on the fifth evening, during a convivial chat at the hotel, that the unthinkable was uttered. Elena, her voice firm, declared, "I don't want to go back." A ripple of agreement spread through the group. "Me neither. No one back home will ever understand this kind of beauty. If I tell my family about Singapore, they'll never believe me. If only I could live in Singapore every spring." What I initially dismissed as jest quickly turned serious. Their faces held an undeniable earnestness. And then, on the day they were scheduled to depart, at Changi Airport, the truly unprecedented occurred. A mass refusal to board. In the departure hall, all 14 women staged a spontaneous sit-in, expressing their fierce desire to stay, to see more blooms, to soak in more of the kind Singaporean spirit. They didn't care what their families in the US would say. Airport staff, though momentarily perplexed, handled the situation with remarkable grace and understanding, even bringing them hot tea. "We understand how you feel, ladies, truly," a staff member said gently. "But your families will worry, won't they?" It was this subtle, empathetic persuasion, combined with a heartfelt promise to return next spring, that finally coaxed them onto their flight. Inside the cabin, they were still buzzing, reliving every moment. "The best week of my life. The beauty of the Lion City is beyond words. The warmth of Singaporeans, a treasure for the soul." Upon their arrival back in New York, the expressions on the faces of their waiting families morphed into astonished wonder. The women, who had left with expressions etched with anxiety, now shone with an undeniable radiance, their faces alight with a newfound joy. As they excitedly recounted their Singaporean experiences at the airport, Their families, initially skeptical, slowly began to grasp the depth of their transformation. Their actions post-trip created ripples that spread across American society. Elena established a Singapore culture salon within Manhattan's social circles, orchestrating cherry blossom photo exhibitions, tea demonstrations, and Singaporean food events, each one consistently oversubscribed. Marina, the academic's wife, launched a special lecture series at her university titled Learning from Singaporean Aesthetics, which was so popular that extra sessions had to be added, drawing students from various disciplines and even members of the public. Drawing from her hospital experience, Elena submitted a detailed proposal to the American medical community and government, outlining concrete recommendations for improving care for foreign patients and enhancing the efficiency of emergency medical systems. Even the American media, initially critical, found themselves moved by the purity of the women's cultural revelations, producing Singapore-focused documentaries that emphasized the profound importance of cultural exchange beyond political divisions, resonating deeply with countless viewers. The travel industry, too, saw a shift. Inquiries about Singapore surged, particularly for spring flower tours, with a marked preference for itineraries that prioritize cultural immersion and genuine human connection over mere sightseeing. The educational sector also felt the impact, with schools in New York and other major cities expanding their Mandarin language programs, and Singapore culture research societies sprouting up, indicating a burgeoning interest in the Lion City among the younger generation. 6 months later, true to their word, the women returned to Singapore, this time accompanied by their families. Their husbands, who had initially opposed the trip, now observed their wives' profound transformation and developed an eager curiosity. Their sons and daughters, equally intrigued, wanted to see the country that had so deeply touched their mothers. On this second visit, they delved even deeper into Singaporean culture, formally studying tea ceremony, trying their hand at calligraphy, and even learning to cook traditional Singaporean dishes. Their families, too, were captivated by Singapore's charm, sharing in the collective wonder. Today, these 14 women have formed a cultural exchange group called the Blossom Circle, visiting Singapore every spring and hosting Singaporean cultural events in the US each autumn. Their efforts are recognized as a vital form of grassroots diplomacy, transcending political rifts. Elena, now 75, diligently continues her Mandarin studies daily, her cherished goal to express her gratitude in fluent Mandarin during next year's flower season. She maintains a rigorous health regimen, often quipping with a laugh, "I'd do anything to see those blossoms again." Through this entire experience, I've gained a profound understanding of culture's immense power. It taught me that a heart moved by beauty, a spirit seeking genuine connection, speaks a universal language, effortlessly bridging political divides and linguistic barriers. I witnessed firsthand how the beauty of blossoms and the warmth of human kindness possess an unparalleled ability to unite people. I will continue to dedicate myself to being a bridge between our nations, hoping that the courage displayed by Elena and her friends, and their unadulterated love for culture, inspires many more. The story of 14 wealthy American women, defying their families to journey to a beautiful city-state, weeping within 5 minutes, and almost refusing to leave. A truly unforgettable week.